Hello, yogis. Thank you for being here. Welcome to this gentle yoga practice. Often, when I'm doing yoga myself, I use the practice, and I probably would say I do less power kind of yoga classes. And when I do come to the mat, I do tend to do a lot more gentle, slow flow because what I really need oftentimes is more of that deep stretching. So, for today, for this class, I encourage you, if you have it, to grab a strap. We'll use that at the end. A block would maybe be helpful. I'm sitting on a blanket to start, but unless you need it for padding for the knees, it's not necessary. Um, Sometimes, though, when I do practice yoga, I find that if I don't, in my mind, mentally, if I'm not doing a power or more of a flow class, sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough. Do any of you ever feel that way? If I didn't do this, this, and this today, right? And that whole perfection thing. And one of the first styles of yoga I started doing was Iyengar. Iyengar is very prop oriented. You often work with partners. You hold poses a really long time. And B.K.S. Iyengar used to say that yoga allows you to rediscover a sense of wholeness. So, to me, that's what this practice is about. It's about rediscovering that sense of wholeness, that sense of fulfillment that is not upon whether or not I did or did not do something that day, but is always present. And he also went on to say it's this space where you don't have to feel like you're trying to constantly fit all of these broken pieces back together, but you are remembering the wholeness of who you are. So I want you to start by taking a comfortable seat. I'm sitting, as I said, on my blanket, so come and take a comfortable seat and let your eyes close. Now, there is a Japanese art, and it's called, I'm probably butchering how I say this, but it's kintsugi, Kintsugi. And it's the Japanese art of putting broken pottery pieces back together with gold. And the idea is that in embracing flaws and imperfections, you actually create a stronger, more beautiful piece of art. So every break is unique. And in this 400-year-old tradition, they actually highlight the scars. And I feel like this is what Iyengar was talking about, was remembering our wholeness, that those parts of ourselves that we think may be broken aren't really broken, but it's actually a part of us. It's our part of our story and who we are. So I want you to take your hands, one to the heart, the other over that. Is there a part of yourself that you feel like is broken, that you are constantly hard on yourself about? And I'm not asking that you change that in this moment. I'm just asking that for today, for these next few minutes while we practice together, if we can offer that space some kindness, some acceptance, so that we can heal from a deeper space. And then let your chin gently bow down toward your chest. Begin to blink your eyes open. Let your hands release. Let's bring the legs in a little bit. I'm going to take my blanket out. We're going to find a nice, easy Sukhasana. You can keep the same leg. We are going to switch it in a minute. So I want you just to tighten up your shins so your shins are, you're crossing more right at mid shin and your feet are underneath your knees. Stretch your arms up towards the sky. Now my left leg is in front. I'm going to twist to the left. Okay. If your right leg's in front, I want you to twist to the right. So you're taking the opposite hand to the knee and then one hand behind you, and you're sitting up nice and tall. Lengthen the back of your neck. And then keep holding onto that knee, but bring your gaze forward. Your back hand that's behind you, take that and stretch it up and over. So you take a side body stretch. Let the weight of the knee you're holding anchor down towards the ground. Lift your torso up, cross that arm, whatever was in the air, over, and come into an eagle wrap. If the hands don't wrap all the way, back of the hands is just fine. Lift the elbows up, breathe in, And exhale, fold forward. Now here, if you need that block, if you can't quite come all the way down, here's where you maybe want that block. You can go any height you need it. And I want you right now to breathe into the back of the body. Feel the wholeness in the back rib cage. Now in yoga, it's said that the front body is like our ego body, right? It's everything we can see. It's out in front of us. But the back body is the universal. It's the greater power, the part that is unseen. Good. Let's inhale nice and slow. Come all the way up. Cactus your arms. Breathe in. Exhale, slowly release your arms down. Lean back and switch the cross of your legs. So now my right leg's in front. Yours may be the opposite. Inhale, you're going to twist to the direction of your front leg. Exhale, opposite arm is coming across, holding the knee and the other arm behind you. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, turn and rotate. Little bend of those elbows. Almost feel like the elbows are winging out just a little bit to the sides. You may notice a greater sense of expansion through your rib cage. And then we'll take that side stretch. Keep holding the knee. Stretch the arm that was behind you up and over. You can look wherever it's comfortable. And then inhale. Gently pull yourself up, and that top arm is going to be the top arm in your eagle wrap. Back of the hands, again, just fine. You can even hold the shoulders if that's still too much. And we fold forward. Where can you release here? Where can you let go? Through the outer hips, through the back of your neck, through your jaw, through your throat, maybe swallow. What if it's reframing that we actually don't see those parts of ourselves as broken, but they're parts where we can begin to build ourselves into even a truer version of who we are, where they teach us a greater level of acceptance, where they teach us how to create a more empowering story for ourselves. And slowly come up, cactus your arms, breathe in. And exhale, circle the arms back and around. I'm going to turn forward. We're going to come into a reverse tabletop. If you're facing sideways, turn towards the front of your mat. Feet are hip width apart. Fingertips point forward. If your shoulders are a little tight here, remember this is gentle flow. Turn your hands out. I might just do that because it feels kind of good in the moment. We'll inhale, lift up into reverse table. I encourage you to keep your chin towards your chest. You can look towards the sky, but resist going all the way back. It just compresses in your neck. So draw your throat back if you're looking up towards the ceiling. Claw the earth with your finger pads. Lift up through the back body again. Feel that support. And then exhale, slowly come down. Now we're going to do kind of a one-armed reverse table. So we're going to turn the hand that's going to be down back behind you. Only come up as good, high as it feels good. You're going to keep your feet as they are. I'm going to scooch my hand just a little bit more towards the back of the mat. And inhale, I'm going to circle up. Now I'm going to stay a little more sideways. This one I'm facing you. And then exhale, as opposed to looking more up. But if it feels good to look up, you can do that too. And then switch. So you'll inhale, fingertips, again, point away from you. Feet are flat on the ground. Exhale, you come down. Again, this is meant to be gentle. If it's not feeling gentle, don't come up as high. Make any adjustments you need. Exhale. Last time, inhale. Exhale. Good. Now we're going to take a little cat-cow with feet flat on the floor for a moment. Hold your shins. Inhale. Find those sitting bones. Exhale. Round your back. Inhale. Heart forward. Exhale. Heart moves back. Relax your neck. One more time. Breathe in. Find a nice tall spine here. Exhale. Good. Now come up to neutral. We're going to do a little rock and roll. Again, you might want to watch this first one. You're going to rock back. As you rock up, I want you to tuck your right foot under and your left foot in front. And your left arm will be against your left leg. Your right hand will be behind you. We're going to take this twist. My left sit bone, it's lifted. I'm really resting on the outer hip, but I'm hugging this left leg against the arm and the arm against the leg. So I get a nice groin stretch. I get a nice open twist. I can feel the thigh bone dropping into the socket. Okay, so we're going to do this a few times. We're going to do the same side 3 or 4 times. So come back. Exhale, rock back. You can hold your shins for support. Right foot tucks under. Inhale, open the twist. Now you can linger as long as you want. If you don't want to flow, exhale, rock back. Inhale, turn and twist. So it's really going to have you slow the breath down because you're going to want to enjoy both the rock, hopefully along the spine, and this nice, juicy, open twist. Let's do one more. Exhale, rock back. Inhale, rock open, and twist. Whew. Now you're going to switch. Rock back, and left foot will tuck underneath. Right foot will be in front. Right sit bone, let it lift for this. Nice openness here. Both fingertips down on the ground. Feel that connection. Rock back on the exhale. Inhale, rock up. Ujjayi breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, twist. It's an open twist, so we're doing that on the inhales. We're not coming across the body. Often we exhale in the twist, but since this is an open twist, we're doing that on the inhale. So exhale is the rock back because you're using your core, and the inhale is the open. Let's do one more. I've kind of lost count, let's be honest. And twist. Good. This time you'll rock back, and we're going to meet in a forward bend, top of our mat. So if you need a few rocks to get there, use your hands to support yourself. Let your feet separate. Let your fingertips dangle on the ground. And I want you to, on purpose, let the hands sway side to side. And the way that you feel the connection to the earth, the wholeness of the earth. So very grounding, lots of sensories on the tips of the fingers. So letting them just circulate side to side. Good. And then put a nice generous bend in your knees. We're going to roll it up. Very good. Roll the shoulders back and down. All right. We're going to take sort of a half sun salute, but a little more sensory experience, really just sort of feeling and connecting into the body. Since often the body is that part of ourselves we don't feel like is just how we want it. So inhale, reach up. And as you exhale, I want you to circle the arms behind you as you swan dive, holding right from your butt all the way down the back of the hamstrings, down the calves to the ankles. When you do your half lift, glide up the back of your calves, and then exhale, re-glide down the calves. Now as you come up, glide up the legs, straighten the spine. When you get to the top of the butt, you can let the arms reverse and come all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. So let's just do that 2 more times. Really feeling in your own body. Inhale, practicing this quality. Open the arms, reach them towards your backside as you fold, this acceptance, even of our butt. Inhale. Exhale. Glide up the legs, appreciating the legs, all they do for us every day. Hands to the heart. Exhale. Inhale. One last time. Breathe in. Circle the arms out and a bit back so you can reach towards the backside and fold. You can bend the knees as much as you need to. Straight back. Lift the shoulder blades. Let them rest on the back. Exhale, feel them move away from each other as you fold. As you glide the hands up the legs, feel the connection in the back body, the shoulders come all the way up. And hands to the heart. Exhale. Good. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Bring your big toes together. Let's just take a side stretch. Right hand, let it glide down your right leg. Left arm reaches up and over. Take the hand behind the head. Inhale, maybe look up a little more. And exhale, tip as though you're trying to look more towards the floor. Good. Reach the arms back up towards the sky. Exhale, come back up to center. Good. Switch. Other arm. Right arm reaches up. Exhale, side bend over to the left. Take the hand behind the head. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, just a little turn of the torso. You're still side bending here. Inhale, reach the arm up. And exhale, pull back up through center. Very good. We'll need the block possibly here, so make sure it's at the top of your mat if you need it. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive. You don't have to reach for the legs this time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back, plank pose. Slowly lower the knees to tabletop. Breathe in, curl into cow. Exhale, round and move back into child's pose. Come sitting up on your shins in child's pose, or sitting up on your shins. You're not in child's pose. Lift your torso up. Hands are by your sides. Inhale. And our right foot is going to step forward into a lunge as we exhale. So if you need padding for your knees, grab that. Cactus your arms. Breathe in. Exhale. Take your left arm on top of your right arm. Garudasana arms. Inhale. Little bit of a back bend here. Open up the chest. And then like you're doing a humble warrior now, I'm going to turn my left shin so it's angled, and that's going to just help the balance a little bit. Exhale, fold. Some of you, the fingertips will come down to the ground. Some of you, it might even be forearms get down to the ground. If you prefer your shin straight back, by all means. I just like the angle. Take one more breath. Breathe into the back between the ribs, between the shoulder blades, and then exhale. Let both hands come to the inside of your front leg. Now take your shin back behind you, tuck the toes, and lift the knee. Now if you want the block, here's where you might use it under your hands. And I just want you to rock a little bit side to side. Be gentle. Hug your right knee against your right arm. Letting that left hip release. Deepen your Ujjayi breath. Good. Now we're going to come to a high skandasana. Heels in, walk to the left, toes out, bend your left knee, straighten your right leg. Even if you can come lower, we will in a minute. Just stay high for a moment. If you want to walk your hands on the diagonal in the same direction as your left leg, you can. And then we'll come lower in our skandasana unless that doesn't work in your knees. So let your toes on your right foot lift. You can let your left heel, like I'm doing, you can let that lift. If you're more flexible here, you might be able to drop the heel, and you can do that too. And then just do what's comfortable. If it feels good to stretch the arms out straight, do that. If you want to flow side to side between the front and the back leg. Take one more breath. Good. Now, we're going to come all the way down to seated. So if you need to support yourself to come down, do that. Turn those left toes so they're pointing towards the long edge of your mat. Right toes are pointing up, and you'll take your right hand and hold your left ankle. Reach your left arm up and over towards those right toes. Now your right elbow, it may come to touch the ground. It may not. Turn the chest open. Take a nice deep breath. Breathe in through the rib cage. Exhale. Maybe you reach a little closer. Some of you might be able to get that foot and grab the hand on the outer foot. That's fine. My sit bone does come up if I go all the way for the foot, so you have to just kind of decide. Good. Reach the arm back up. Now you're going to come back to skandasana. So we're going to get those sit bones up. You might need to put your hands behind you or out in front of you. Come back to skandasana. We're going to turn towards the back of the mat. Exhale. Back knee down to the ground. Ardha Hanuman. Straighten that left leg. Stretch the heart forward. Now again, you might want your block here. You're going to rotate your left toes to the left. Flex your left foot strongly, starting to wake up the outer seam of the left leg. If you want to take it a little deeper, walk your right hand to the outside of your left leg and continue to hug your right shin to the midline. Turning and twisting. Big stretch here. Good. Turn the toes back up. Now you're going to come back and sit on that right heel, and your left leg is going to cross over your right. So your heel is kind of right between your butt. Now, if this is too much on your toes, just untuck your toes. If you want to practice balance for a moment, bring the hands to the heart. See if you can take one more deep breath. And then we're just going to stay here, untuck the toes, and I want you to actually sit on the heel so it kind of gets right about on the perineum, okay, between the genitals and the anus, right in there. And I want you to sit back. So this activates your mula bandha. So as you exhale, I want you to think about squeezing and lifting. It's not just a squeeze, it's a lifting action. When you inhale, I want you to actually let your pelvic floor relax. It's very hard for some of us to do. Let your pelvic floor relax. And I want you to let your fingertips touch the earth. Feel that connection of the earth underneath you. If it's too much, come out of it. You can always not sit on your foot. You can scooch it off to by your left hip. Good. And then slowly walk yourself forward. Unwind that left leg. And let's take a puppy pose. Walk your arms forward about as wide as your mat. Let your forehead or your chin come down to the ground. Melt the heart down towards the earth. Some of you, the heart may actually come all the way down towards the earth. Good. Walk the hands in a little closer. Inhale, curl into cow. You're facing the back of your mat now. Exhale, round into child's pose, sitting back on the heels. Drag your hands back by your heels as you sit up on your shins. Breathe in. And now exhale, left foot will step forward. Lunge. Cactus your arms. Breathe in. Exhale, right arm is on top this time. Garudasana arms. Breathe in. Bit of a back bend here, starting to lean back. You can go as low as it feels good for you into the legs. And then humble warrior. So you're drawing navel to spine. And I am going to swivel that shin again. See, I just lost my balance. I'm going to swivel that shin again as I fold in. That'll help with the balance. Now in a moment, we're going to be opening this left groin. So right now, I really want you to use your adductors and hug your left leg into your left shoulder. Use those muscles. Good. And then slowly hands to the ground. Now take that shin, reach it back behind you. Lift the back knee up and little rock back and forth here a few times. Remember, hands can be on block here, blocks. Rock a little bit forward and back. You can let your gaze be down. And see how it takes a couple of breaths for your body to soften. At least it does in mine. All right, Skandasana, here we come. Heels in, toes out. We're staying a little higher at first. Right leg bends, left leg is straight. Option to walk your hands to the right on that same diagonal that your knee and toes of your right foot are 45 degrees and they're tracking in the same direction. So now really notice how that left leg, the groin is opening here. Coming lower into Skandasana if you like. Letting your toes lift up on your left foot. Taking any variation. You've got binds, all kinds of options you could take. You can allow that heel to drop if you want to take it a little bit deeper. And then carefully, we're all going to come to seated here. So come onto seat. You're now back towards the front of your mat. Point your right toes forward. Take your left hand, hold that ankle, and reach your right arm up and over. Up and over. So again, if you want to grab the foot, a little deeper pose. Turn the chest, open up. Good. And then inhale, come up. A lot of work to come back up into that Skandasana. So feel free if you need to. You can have one hand in front, one hand in back to get yourself back up. Okay. Turn back around to the front of your mat. Ardha Hanuman, straightening now your right leg. Turn your right toes as you inhale. Again, you can take your block if you like. Turn your right toes over to the right. You might feel plenty there. Your block can be on the inside of the leg, or take the hands to the outside. The block can come with you. The left shin here, it really does tend to drop, and the heel drops out to the left. Hug it in. Stretch your heart out of your hips. One more breath. Toes back to the sky. Keep those left toes tucked if you can as you slide your right leg back and cross it over your left. Cross it over your left. Maybe hands come to the heart if you're feeling steady. See if you can take a breath or two. Center your gaze. And then your hands will come to the earth. Untuck your toes. And again, you're going to sit heel right into the perineum. Fingertips on the floor in a spot that feels comfortable. You can do palms flat. If your arms are really long, you might be able to get palms flat. Maybe close your eyes, and I want you to really visualize the breath moving down as you inhale and actually relaxing your pelvic floor. And then as you exhale, feeling everything lift and the breath feeling as though it's moving back up towards your heart. So inhale. The inhale, the breath is moving down, helping you relax your pelvic floor. Exhale. The pelvic floor is lifting. The breath is moving back up. Try it one more time. Breathe in. And you can tell, you can probably feel it in your heel if you actually are really getting that pelvic floor to release on the in-breath. And then exhale, squeeze and lift. Squeeze and lift. Good. Inhale. Walk forward. Uncross your legs. One more time, puppy pose. And now really notice that pelvic floor as that pressure releases. Even here, inhale, lengthening, feeling the breath. Open the pelvic floor. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Little pressure into your hands. Hug your hands toward each other. Wake up the arms, wake up the upper back. Good. And then hands walk in closer towards you. Cross your ankles. Take your feet out in front of you. Take your feet out in front of you. Give your legs a little shake. And I want you just to make fists and down the outsides of your legs. So my feet are a hair wider than my hips. Just start gently patting down the outsides of the legs. Waking up the energy channels, going up the insides of the legs. And I'm even going to lean back a little. Not too much, but just so I can pat those hip flexors slightly. Okay, down the outsides, up the insides. Can we just give our legs a little more love? Please and thank you. Exhale down. And inhale, slowly coming up. Good. And now we're going to take cradle to baby with our right leg. So I want you just to relax that right leg. Start to bring it back. And lift this right leg up. Take both hands to the outer edge of your foot. Draw your right knee back. And then externally rotate the leg out to the side. Now, some of you might like a blanket to sit on. Some of you will be able to get your foot into the crook of the elbow. And I want you to think of the inner edge of your foot pushing. So the outer edge, then I'm going to sickle my foot. I'm going to put more strain on the ankle. So I want you to think of the inner foot going into the elbow. Sitting up nice and tall. And then rocking your baby. Chest nice and tall. It's a hard one. For some of you, it may be too much with that leg extended. It may be better in your body to bend that bottom leg, and that's okay if that's better for you. Now imagine your heel, your right heel is drawing down, and your elbow is lifting up simultaneously. Just think about that for a minute. Heel going down, elbow lifting up, shin parallel with the floor. Spine tall. Good. Now we're going to take it into an IT band twist. I am going to re-straighten my leg. You are welcome to keep it bent still. Take your left hand to your outer right foot and extend this right leg. Right hand behind you. Kick out into the heel. Turn and revolve your chest to the right. Now if you want a little more through the outer leg, you can let the leg come across your body a little bit more. If you want to reach this right arm back, you can. You might feel that a little more in your shoulder that way. You find that point where those sit bones are and your spine is nice and tall. Good. Now we're going to lay onto the back, coming to Gomukhasana. So you just watch this transition. I'm going to scooch forward just a little bit. I'm going to slowly bend this right knee into my chest. Use your core to come down. Rolling back, left knee will sneak behind the right. And you can either hold the outer edges of both of your feet, or I've been enjoying holding my heels lately, and that just, it's giving me a different and a deeper stretch. So play around. Some of you may not be able to reach the feet, and holding the calves and outer shin area will feel better for you. If this one doesn't work, you can also do the figure 4. All right, lots of options. So allow maybe the eyes to close if that feels good. The yoga practice allows us to remember the wholeness of who we are. And then if we think of this Japanese art, in fact, you may have seen it. I feel like it's a woman. She's sitting in a cross-legged position, and she's made of what looks like a metal, and there's cracks, but there's gold that's stitched her all back together, and yet there's light just illuminating out of these gold cracks. It's a beautiful image. Maybe I'll try to tag it if I can. And it's just that remembrance that it's the scars and the cracks that make us beautiful. It's those scars that help us become more resilient. It's those cracks that help us grow. That is part of our wholeness. Good. Unwind your legs. Find a happy baby pose. Hold the outer edges of the feet or hold the heels, or if you prefer, you could bring the soles of the feet together and rock a little bit side to side. Massage your low back. Now we're going to rock back up to seated for that second side. So stretch your legs to the sky and the toes a little over your head, and then get a little bit of a gentle rock to come all the way back up. All right, cradle the baby, second side. Pull the flesh maybe out from under the sit bones, and it's left foot outer, both hands to the outer foot. Draw the leg back, externally rotate it. Again, you can bend your right leg too if you need to, and sitting up nice and tall. And right away, you can see how my outer edge of my foot just tries to go right into the elbow, so I really have to think about standing. And some of you, if you ever work on arm balances and you need the hip opening, is an example, grasshopper pose, really have to be able to get that rotation in the hip, the openness in that hip. So really think about the inner edge of your foot going into the crease of that elbow. And then remember, elbow going up and heel trying to pull down. It's not really going to move much, but if you do those two actions together of a little bit of the elbow lift, a little bit of the heel drop, whew, it's hard to talk to you. That's how intense it becomes. Rock it out. Very soothing to the body to rock. All right, that's why it's like instantly holding a baby. You just start to sway. Good. And then we'll take that twist, that kind of crown chasana twist. Right hand to your outer left foot. Again, chest nice and tall. Push through your big toe mound and your inner heel. That will light up your outer seam of the leg, and either left hand on the floor or reach it behind you. Let the thumb, if you're reaching, turn up to the sky so your shoulder externally rotates. Continue to keep the inseam of your leg long. Good. Now we're going to come onto the back, and we're going to be staying in the back. So we are going to need the straps. So as you begin to make a recline down, bring your torso back around, and you pull this knee, left knee to your chest. Make sure your strap is close by. Left knee is on top of right knee now in your Gomukhasana. You rock it out side to side. Sometimes I like to rock a little bit. And every little movement shifts something. So maybe it's pull the heels close to the hips. Notice where you feel that stretch. Some days pull the heels more away from each other and then towards your shoulders, and you'll really feel your thigh, your top thigh into your chest. Maybe that gives you the deeper stretch. You have to play around. It's possible you're going to feel totally different things when you do those two things. So you just stay as long as you like, as long as your body is needing it and you have time for. experience the fullness and the wholeness of the breath. Unwind the legs, everybody. Let's all bring the soles of the feet together. Clasp your hands around the outer edges of your feet. And you're trying to bring your big toes towards your heart, towards your chest. Again, if you want to rock a little side to side, you can. If you prefer to open back into happy baby, you can even do a little half ninja baby where you straighten one leg, or if you're really flexible, you can do both at the same time. Just be careful on those hammies, those hamstrings. Good, and then bring your legs together. Now here's where we're going to need the strap, and our strap is going to need a very big loop, okay? So if you don't have a strap, then I just want you to clasp your hands behind the back of your right hamstring, okay? And your left foot can be on the floor or it could be straight. You can always make it work. Now you're gonna put the, actually I'm gonna have you switch legs. Those of you clasping, you can keep that. Put your left foot in the strap and then slide your right leg actually in. And I just realized I grabbed my short strap. I have two straps. This is my short one, so I'm gonna actually have to do what I'm guiding you toward. Those of you that have the full strap, I'm going to show you so you can imagine. This, I can't get it low enough because my strap's not long enough. I need you to bring it all the way towards your hip crease, and then this left leg would go straight. You can see mine can't because my strap is running out of room, and then we're all going to still be clasping our hands. So we're all going to look the same whether we have the strap going or not. This actually kind of feels good even with my left leg not totally straight because I'm getting that pressure. You just don't want the buckle right on that thigh, so move that, but it's right on the hip crease. And if you drew the short strap, then you can do what I'm doing, where I've just got my heel down. I want the heel down though, because then I can still kind of push through that foot because it's the pressure of the strap moving against your thigh and your hands pulling back against the hamstring that's giving you this great stretch. Good. And now bend this right leg, set the foot to the floor. You're going to lift the left leg to the sky, lift your head, and let your head bring the strap right to the kind of the base of the skull. Right foot can stay on the floor if that's better for you, or you can stretch that right leg straight. And then you're just balancing here between lifting up through the foot and letting your head rest back. Relax your jaw here. A couple of my favorite poses putting in this gentle practice today. I forgot how short my strap was, but you know what? We can always make some lemonade out of lemons, right? That's part of the reframing. Instead of thinking, gosh, this never works, things don't work out for me. They do. Things are always working out for you and your highest good. It's my favorite mantra. Things are always working out for me and my highest good. Which means they don't always work out how we want, but they work out for our highest good. Continue to let your head rest back. And then take your hands to the side of the strap, lift your head, take the strap off, and let your head lay back down. Okay, set the left leg to the floor. Just kind of shake the legs out here for a moment. Just wiggle toes back and forth. Okay, we get to switch sides. All right, second side. Let's see. I had it on my right leg last time. Okay, so other strap. Put the strap in your other foot. So now it's on your left foot. And your right, actually, no, I think that was the same leg. It's on your right foot. It's on your right foot. And I got to move my buckle. It's on your right foot. Strap's on your right foot. Now I'm going to bend my right leg because I have to. Left leg will stay straight. Those of you that can keep your right leg straight, go all the way straight. All of us clasp our hands, strap or no strap. Everyone, left leg to the sky and clasp your hands behind the back of your hamstring. I feel like getting into that pose is sort of like rubbing your tummy and patting your head sometimes. And which side did I just do? But we did it. So push, drive through that right leg so you get that tightness across your hip flexor. Again, make sure that strap is right in the hip crease. Your hands are on the back of the hamstring. You're drawing your leg towards you as you're kicking that heel out. Flex through your top foot. Draw your chin down a little bit. Allow the outer left hip to move away from your face. Okay, bend the lifted leg, the left leg. Set that foot to the floor. Take the strap off your hip crease and now extend your right leg to the sky. Lift your head up. Again, make sure the strap isn't going to be on your head. Put the strap right around the base of the skull. Right leg's in the air, left foot, it can stay on the floor, or extend the legs straight. Arms are just resting by your sides. Lay your head back. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. And this pose is such almost a metaphor for you can feel yourself having to let go and a little bit take action at the same time. And isn't that the truth? We're constantly making these small choices, small decisions every day. And yet at the end of the day, we do not have control over how things always turn out. So it's the surrendering back, the head, the upper body, laying back. And despite how things turn out, recognizing that it doesn't compromise the wholeness of who we are. Take your hands to the sides of the strap. Lift your head up and slide your head out. Take the strap off. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Rock a little bit side to side. Friends, if there's anything else you would like to do, I'm going to end with a fish pose. If you have a neck injury, that's not the best pose. Maybe another happy baby or a supported bridge. If you're going to do fish, you can slide your hands underneath your glutes. Stretch your legs straight, heels to the ground. Flex your feet. Push into your forearms. Lift your heart and let the top of the head rest just lightly. There's no weight. In fact, I can lift it. There's no weight on the top of the head. And just allow the heart to open. Take one more breath. Allow the throat to open so that we speak with clarity and with honesty and from a place that resonates with really who we are. Push into your forearms, tuck your chin to your chest, slide one hand out and then the other. And either coming into Shavasana, or if you like, you can sit up and we take a couple minute meditation. Okay, it's up to you, whichever would feel better for you right now. Let your eyes close. If we think of this Japanese art and the lesson that the art shares is that sometimes the process of repairing things or things changing that have been broken, that we actually do create something more beautiful and unique and resilient. That you are better with your golden cracks. And that the wholeness of your being, the enoughness of who you are, is never compromised by an experience that happens to you. There is a part of you that is unchanged by change. And that is why the Anahata chakra, the heart chakra, Anahata means unstruck or unbroken. That there is a part of us, a deeper part, that is unstruck and unbroken regardless of what happens. So, as you lay in Shavasana or you sit for a few moments, I encourage you to use the mantra Ananda Hum. Ananda Hum. This mantra awakens the fulfillment that is your true self. Ananda means bliss. It is the inherent contentment and joy and fulfillment of existence. So as you inhale, Ananda. As you exhale, hum. Ananda, hum. Ananda, hum. Bring a little bit of movement, if you're in Shavasana, back to your body. If you're in meditation, can all of us gently let the mantra release? If you're laying down, take your time, find your way over onto one side, and gently bring yourself back up to an upright position. Let's all take our hands together in front of our heart. Yoga allows us to rediscover a sense of wholeness in ourselves, a sense of wholeness in our life. So as we leave the mat today, may we remember that the parts of our lives where we struggle, where we're challenged, the relationships that have us questioning things, can we reframe some of that in a way that is empowering to ourselves? Ask questions of ourselves to help us open and to learn and to grow. As you draw thumbs to third eye. Thank you. Thank you for practicing with me today. It was my deep honor to guide you. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Make sure you like this video and subscribe so every time a new one comes out, you are notified. And I thank you. Until next time, namaste.